Hello, and welcome to another day of TA the Degen way. Well, today I want to take a look at INJ, and here we are on our TradingView Ideas page. There's a link in the description. If you haven't done so already, go ahead and help us out and hit that subscribe button. And if you want to follow us on TradingView, there's a link in the description. We also have a free Discord where I'm pretty much sharing what I'm looking at, what I'm doing trading wise in the crypto market pretty much every day. But what I want to look at today is INJ, and so here is kind of what I'm looking at, and we can break this down and take a look there. So here we got a weekly line chart, and let's just jump right into the regular chart, and we can talk about what I got on here, what I'm thinking. I am looking for some upside. Doesn't mean it'll happen right away. And I've also been looking for a little bit of upside in Bitcoin. I was looking for 65,000, and we pretty much hit it. And I don't see any reason why we can't get to 66, 68,000. Then I guess we'll see. But I mean here, I do see some potential for upward rise, and maybe Bitcoin, follows through just the same. So what are we looking at on this price chart? Alright, so what do we got going on in this chart with INJ? I mean, personally, I am bullish. It doesn't mean that we can't come down some more. And doesn't mean that we don't hang around down here for a while, but time-wise, it just seems like the momentum cycle is right in about that time period. So what is on that forecast? My macro expectations are a rotation to the upside. I've got my regular percentage fib-based retrace levels, our momentum time cycle, the wave trend oscillator, and our octave levels. So let's go right into a blank chart, and we will break down how I am putting that together. So here we've got just a regular weekly line chart, and first, if you're a trend line trader, what we want to look for is we want to look for numerous points of confluence. All of these multiple different things that trigger the idea that people should spend money. So on our regular chart, we've come down. If we grab our fib retrace tool here and we go from our swing low here to our swing high, we want to know how much of this move have we retraced to the downside. So we want these numbers going down. So I'm going to reverse the scale. We've came right down into that golden pocket zone. So that's more than a sufficient retrace. We're going to get rid of that. Let's grab our volume tool. And if we measure from the bottom, over here we see our value area high. Doesn't want to show it on this chart for some reason, but if we flip back over here, we can see our value area high is coming out right at that same level. So we do have a significant support level there, and if we look at our price action, grab our marker tool here, we can see that we are losing momentum to the downside. So we should be looking for some kind of upward movement. Let's look at our oscillator. Our oscillator is coming up. We got a significant top, and and if we consider these nice 3 deep waves. I mean, I don't see any reason why we can't at least pop up for something like this, if not just a full-on breakout. But you know, trend line traders, you know, they're looking for this break of trend. Here we've got, you know, hardcore support. If we flip on our full price, you know, we came down and even grabbed the liquidity below these lows. So I mean, I think we should be looking for some upside, you know. And if we grab our retrace tool here for targets, and now we want the numbers going up, so we're going to measure from, let's assume the swing low is in. Let's reverse our scale here, and I am on a log scale, so we're looking at what we're measuring here is the percentage change in value, not the dollar amount in value. So here, you know, right off the bat, our golden zone is right around $33. I don't see any reason why, you know, here's our last support resistance zone. It's pretty much dead smack in the golden zone there. That's about 30% higher than the current price, and that would be about a 1.5 expansion of this little range here. One thing I want to do before we load this up with fib, well, let's just put them on there. This is a full chart of everything on there. So what did we do already? I mean, I didn't throw the volume on it, but we talked about it. And this is our golden pocket retrace zone where our momentum is curving to the downside. Time and price are square, you know. And here's our first retrace level to the upside. Here would be our expansion level. So on the fib scale, you know, that's like 1.5 to 1.618. Well, what is that? That's this range, swing high to swing low. Whatever that percentage change in value is, expanded by, you know, 1.5 to the upside. That's 150%. If we well, from our current price, it's, you know, about 150%. And that's if we get another nice big rise, and that's a big if. You know, this year is just a 50% retrace, pretty standard right there. It doesn't mean that that'll happen, but I mean, that is what I'm looking for. And the fact that we are kind of in this little area here, you know, where maybe we come up and we come back down a little bit and play around and work our way up there. So that's our fib targets. The only thing that I didn't leave on the trading view chart is I've got this Gann box target, and then I've got these vertical lines. So here I've got an accumulation zone. Why? We're losing momentum to the downside. Wave trend oscillator is showing these 3 nice green dots on the bottom side, kind of right about where we would expect, you know, sometime over the next month, you know, maybe a major push to the upside, you know, good 30-35%, maybe more. So, you know, that's why we are looking for those. But for that Gann box target, so there's our fib targets, there's our reason for upside, and Gann box. Let's grab our Gann box on the side here, and let's start just time-wise, considering time. Let's come to, you know, right in this little area. This is not some exact science, you know, which puts us out, you know, around March of 2024, and then we got the end of September, and I don't know why I've got 4/11. That's supposed to be 12/11, I believe, or it's 10/11. Yeah, October 11. Well, I can't change it now, so we're stuck with April. Operator error. So here's like mid-September. Here's mid to the end of October, and these are just dates that it's giving. But I don't have the price levels on here, so let's take that Gann box price target around $48, which is a front run of a major psychological level of $50. Let's throw on the 382 in the 618. So what we're looking for is a proportional relationship to the price action that exists. So let's assume that this is the low, and let's take our Gann box tool here, and we're coming out at about $48, and I think I may have pulled that actually using the bar chart in the full low. Yeah, I mean, and I came up with, $48, $50, which is, even a lower high, which, maybe we see another big push up here and we just get a nice double top, with a slightly lower high. But I mean, that is still a very significant gain there. That Gann box target, I mean, that is 120% I got on there. So I mean, if we considered even the current price to 48 bucks, that's 125%. So that is what I am looking at for INJ. Oh, and then our octave scale is the only other thing. So we got our losing momentum, our momentum coming to the downside right in the area. From now over the next month, we would expect to be seeing a rotation to the upside. We've got our fib targets. We've got our trend here, our little accumulation zone, our high volumes right here. We've got our Gann box, kind of giving us the same time references as our oscillator. And then we've got all these levels here from our octave scale. So let's just go ahead and switch right back to the line chart. Hit the delete button. And what we're getting here is all these different forms of confluence. I mean, and what that does is it doesn't have any predictive power of any kind. What it is there's all these different people looking at all these different things to trade, and you give 50 different types of traders their trigger all at the same spot. It just kind of triggers a little bit of cascade and some momentum. So now I'm going to take my fib scale, and I've got a template where I've changed all the values to 1/8 increments, so we can just get equal sized ranges. So let's take the these highs right here, this here would be about the middle of the range. We can just see, I mean, how these levels line up quite nice, and they are really just a repeat of, this initial range. If this is our low, we kind of come up here and make, this, it's pretty much just an accumulation range. It's just a duplicate of that range. And, our full octave scale comes out at about 57. And, we can see here we're lining nice with our high, nice with our low. Here's the middle of the range. Here's these highs, here's these lows, and the middle of the range. And here's this low. Brings us out at about 55, 57 bucks. So, I mean, that is this chart right here broke down and explained where that comes from. So, I mean, that's what I'm looking for, So, I mean, to actually be getting this, I'm looking at a seasonal change here, a hopeful seasonal change. And we've got these cascade of things to trigger interest, and one of them would be a break of trend, and a pullback, then you could really have some higher expectation. But let's come down to our smaller time frames. This is macro, so why not come down to the 3-day and the daily? And when do we want to really be looking at these? Ooh, look at this 3-day. She's looking nice, I mean, this, when you're looking at those high time frames, you're looking for that kind of seasonal point in time. Now let's look at our oscillator here. Look at this curvature coming down. Where's our brush here? Where would you expect it to culminate? Right down in here. What do you got going on here? Should be expecting a rotation to the upside. Look at this money flow. It's still deep in the red, but it's just starting to curve to the upside, just barely. Look at this price action on the 3-day. Look at that nice curve and that momentum. You can just see it plain as day. Now that we're zoomed in a little bit more, you can see more of those lows and that nice loss of momentum, also telling us, yes, go. And you got divergence, and pretty sure there on the closes you do. 3 hits of divergence on a half week on the 3-day. Let's hop down to the daily. I mean, it may be time, or even just a little pullback, pull back a little bit, or maybe come back down and retest those lows. Let's take a look at the daily. So we came up here to our last support resistance. We pretty much have a measured move here. We're pretty much at the top of this first little burst of a series of daily waves. So let's hit the delete button here. Now let's look at our oscillator here. Look at these waves coming, all this momentum to the downside. And we pretty much have a measured move. So where is, our local support resistance flip? Right there would be our break of structure at about 1970. We've got our trend line coming down. I mean, why not get a pullback and one more little oomph out of this? But at the same time, I mean, we kind of seem to be almost looking like we want to form a sideways range. Maybe we come to a point right around here, where this does something like this even. It's hard to say. Me, I think I would like to see this, some nice curvature into this. Here's our trend line coming down, break that trend line and take on off to the upside. Or maybe we just rocket on out of here. Let's come down to our 4-hour once. And it seems more like this right here. And it seems like we got another push right here, which this is likely the top of it, just kind of like Bitcoin. We came up to 65, 68,000. Here's our last support resistance flip. I mean, there should be some kind of sell-off pullback. There's too many reasons for people to sell to not get some kind of sell-off. Pretty much have a perfect measured move ABC. Maybe we come up for a third wave there, get some kind of a pullback, and get this blue wave, to kind of come down somewhere like right here, or this ends up looking more like something like this. We get one more big rip out of here. But that's what I see on INJ. If you want to know how I see this progressing, if we're looking at something like this, or if we're looking at, maybe we get more downside. We didn't really do any looking at downside. I mean, maybe this support is not sufficient and we need some more pullback. I mean, I'm looking for a seasonal change for some upside time-wise, and we're starting to see the signs of that happening in the price action and in our oscillator. But let's say she doesn't hold. Let's hit the delete button. You know, here's our last support on the close. See, we took the liquidity below when we're looking at our just our regular candle chart, but we closed above. That's also a sign of strength. You know, these are all indications that traders are looking at, you know, swing traders, people that are putting money into this, and you get this pile of things that people look at: fib traders, volume-based traders, price action traders, seeing this loss of momentum. I mean, look at this amount of time from here to here. That's the same amount of time from here to right here. But look at how much the price dropped here compared to how much the price dropped here. It's a loss of momentum. That's why it's got this curve. You know, but at the same time, you got people trading this channel right here, trading this. You know, you got this trend line right there. You know, maybe this comes down. Maybe she needs to come down one more time. But we've got this pile of things. You got your volume level. You got your golden pocket, 61.8, pretty much tapped to the dollar. You got your loss of momentum. You got your market cipher, you know, wave trend oscillator traders looking at all that confluence. A lot of reasons for upside. But, you know, if you haven't done so already, hit that subscribe button. If you want to trade with us, you can sure follow the link in the description to the free Discord. But that's all I got on INJ. And until next time, trade well.